Hello, Wednesday the 28th of October, and this second wave of the COVID disease, the virus, is increasing yet again across the world as we hear it now, but mainly at the moment here in Europe and particularly Britain. So Britain has decided to set up a tier system to sort of suggest the severity of the threat from it. And it has 3 tiers, and from this Friday, most of all the country is likely to be in tier 3. Some parts of the country are already in tier 3, and it's not in it. The whole thing is not clear. It's not a clear. There's no clear clarity in lots of the detail. Very many, if not quite a large proportion of all the population, is massively confused by the different restrictions, or even though they are explained in the government documents. But of course, the vast majority of people will never ever read those documents because they don't in general. Maybe about half the population might go look for some detail, but even a lot of those that look the detail, because of the way the restrictions are written, they're left open to judgment. It's like they say it's because of they've got exceptions, and they've got what they call a rule of 6. 6 can sort of meet outdoors as long as they are our family or a group of known people that know. It's so vague, and then of course the exceptions mean that larger groups of people can still meet for specific types of things, from voluntary things to health things to so there are so many exceptions to protests as whatever, and yeah, so it's all very, very confusing. But as you can expect, I want to bring it back to the animal causes, because the actual virus is a direct link to animals. The virus, it is. I do believe that government know for sure where this disease came from, but they are sort of keeping it very vague to stop people sort of pinning it down. They believe that it's that the indications were that the bat may be involved, pangolins may be involved. They by keeping it vague, then of course it just leaves it open as to wherever it came from in the animal farming industry, because of all these things are farmed, even though they're wild, sort of what we would consider here wild animals. They are actually farmed. A lot are stolen from the wild, the pangolins in particular, but bats are actually farmed. Not in massive numbers, or I don't think so. I wouldn't know the detail of that, but they are farmed. Pangolins are mostly taken from the rainforests of the world. So just on the basis of those, it implicates that it's farming and farming related, as are all viruses. All the flu viruses that we presently have all came from birds and other animals. So, and it's like us. It's like us. When we have a cold or a flu virus, we pass it on to other people. Animals, being individual beings, much like us, have viruses similar to ours, and when the species of virus that we have cross with the species from animals, then there's no surprise that we are becoming ill unnecessarily from farmed animals. And this isn't just these wild animals, or just because this particular virus came from these particular types of animals. Pigs have given us viruses. Chickens in particular gave us the last major pandemic in 1918. Every type of virus has been a jump across from the animal kingdom. Even the common cold that we have now is related back to our first involvement with horses. So our continued use and farming of these animals will eventually bring about more viruses. In actual fact, at this present time, this year alone, there have been over 50 different viruses affecting different areas of the world, and that's quite apart from the one this major one. So we do ourselves no good by farming animals just on this basis alone, and this is just a smaller part of the major illnesses that all farming causes all of us. Animal farming kills more people than any other thing that we humans use or create. Our foods that include animal products and animal excretions, fishes and all sorts, all those things are the main causes of our illnesses. Everything from heart disease, diabetes, to arthritis, Alzheimer's. You can name almost any disease that we get makes us ill and kills us. %80 of all illness and eventual death of humans is from the foods that go through our bodies. The other 20% is down to the environment and other accidents and things like that happen. But the vast majority is everything that we consume, that we put in our bodies through our mouth. Understand it, learn from it, and look at the foods that you eat. It shouldn't need a health issue for you to not want to harm another animal. You already don't accept cruelty. Almost none of you accept cruelty, unless you're a psychopath. And yet you allow it to happen to animals on farms and in slaughterhouses all over the country, all over the world. Do learn from it. Try to do different, do better. You probably will not take notice of one message from me. Maybe somebody might, maybe somebody will. But a lot of the time it's a message maybe that comes from me, but you'll probably get it reinforced from somebody else. Somebody else will mention it as well. And eventually you'll start to understand. You will open your eyes about it. As long as you remain open to new information. I don't say this for myself. I don't care about what you think of me or anything like that. I'm just informing you about something that I hope may help you. I know that people that have actually made the change and removed animal products from their foods, that the improvements have been immense and vast, particularly for people who are ill already. And for people that are not yet ill, removing them will be the biggest prevention of any future illness that you could probably will ever get. Of course, when you get to being ill, you'll not really know, because you've not had the experience of whatever illness it would be, because of things like you can practically, if you take out the animal products out of your lives, you can practically guarantee near enough, as long depending on how old you are when you start taking the animal products out. Probably if you're youngster, if you've removed animal products while you're still young, you can almost guarantee that you will not come down with any of the most serious illnesses. And even people that are older and whatever, they can still prevent most of those serious illnesses. The benefits are there. I know it myself. I know many of my vegan friends as well. Yes, of course, what we say is anecdotal, but the scientific evidence is all there. It only needs looking up. If you want the specific scientific evidence on health, on different diseases, on the nutrients and everything like that, just one place alone will give you plenty of scientific evidence. Just look up any particular disease, do a search for it on nutritionfacts.org, and the information that you will receive there should be enough to make you understand that you really just do not need animals as a food product within your life. It's like I say, we shouldn't need the scientific thing. We know we should understand that every animal has its own life, like we have our own life. They want to live like we want to live. They want to be free like we want to be free. They do not need us to do so. And as I've mentioned before, you look at any of the pigs, the cows, the sheep that exist now, you try finding anything like those in the wild. They do not exist in the wild. Those are not wild animals. Those are animals brought into existence only by humans. Crossbred, engineered, connect with all the feelings that we have. That's the feelings of pain, the sight, the smells, the hearing, and yet we put them into horrific concentration camps. A Holocaust is happening day after day. Please help to stop it. Just by all, and that's not if you haven't even got to do anything. It's just doing nothing. It's simply not consuming the animal. Please do it. Till next time.